Okay, so next is David Snider. He's going to, David, would you like this on the screen or just?
Sure, that'd be helpful.
Okay, so he's going to tell us about our Sculpted Rocks Committee, what we've been doing.
Well, thank you, Margaret. As some of you know, we've been working on the Sculpted Rocks since 2010, and other organizations that were focused on heritage have been working on them since about 1990, including Margaret's father, Bob Phillips, who wrote several articles in the Citizen and other papers throughout the valley on the topic. So we're very happy when the municipality acquired the property, and we've had a couple of false starts with committees to try to come up with a plan for them. But we now have a committee formed through a working group through the Environment Committee with the municipality, and it's chaired by Pierre Nantel. And we have Mike Rosen as the Environment Committee representative. We have several CEGEP professors, including Natalie Bellil and Jean-Marc Soucy. And the working group members from Cantley 1889 are Emily Perrault, Hubert McClellan, and myself. So we have a great team, and everybody's doing their best to come up with ideas and something that we can phase in terms of getting the park open, and not just by invitation only or by request only through the Director General. The working group on May 6th, we had a site visit with Dr. Sharp and Professor Soucy to identify the key geological features of the Sculpted Rocks that could be highlighted along a pedestrian trail in the park. So when I left, some of the academic types were still oohing and awing over the various features. So obviously they're very engaged and enthralled with the site. There continue to be student groups from CEGEP universities visiting the Sculpted Rocks. I don't have an exact figure, but I understand there's ongoing visits and more planned. So that's great. I think that helped to show the municipality the level of interest. But we know there's far more interest, and if the site was made accessible and trails and signage were put in place. The municipality has continued to try to clean up the site. Last year or the year before, perhaps, the concrete and rebar piles were taken out, and this year they've been working on getting the asphalt out of the park. So that should clear the decks and get rid of the unsightly mess there. There was a study done this year. Municipality hired a biologist to identify do a biodiversity study. So basically the study was done, identified wetlands, invasive species, vulnerable species, but there was nothing endangered identified in that process. So that's somewhat reassuring, but the study can be used when we're trails and outside of the quarry area, if we go into the forested area, to make sure that we're not trampling on vulnerable plants or getting into wetland areas with trails and that sort of thing. The municipality also requested the CPTAQ, the Commission de Protection du Territoire Agricole de Québec, sent them a request for their plans for the park, and the response was received back in September. The response was fine, you can go ahead, but you can't put any permanent structures on the property. So that's a bit, we're trying to get our heads around what that means. Some in the municipality think that's fine, we can move ahead, but it does limit the installation of anything that would be permanent, like maybe bringing electricity in, having Wi-Fi reception, having any kind of an interpretation center at this time. So anyway, we're going to work with what we do have and start moving forward, and perhaps go back to CPTAQ with a better explanation of the significance of the Sculpted Rocks and their global recognition. So perhaps by the time we do that, we'll have some recognition because Mike and Dr. Sharp, Mike Rosen and Dr. Sharp, put together a proposal to the International Union of Geological Sciences to have the Sculpted Rocks designated as one of the second 100 IUGS geological heritage sites. And that decision is going to be made in 2024 and announced at the IUGS meeting in South Korea in August of 2024. There's also the possibility of applying for a Quebec designation. There's a new regime being developed. I don't know if I don't believe it's in place yet, but it's specifically for this sort of thing. And so perhaps that will help also to raise the profile and the significance of the Sculpted Rocks when it comes to a CPTAQ. So that is it. There are ongoing meetings of that working group. And in fact, I think there's a meeting 2 weekends from now to actually come up with some kind of concrete plan and how we could phase that in, and then meet with the municipality and try to get things moving forward. So that is it. Are any questions? Okay.
That's great, David.
I just want to thank all the members of the team. Everyone's been very supportive and helped out in many ways. So it's
well, I just want to thank you, and our committee wants to thank you, and Cantley 1889 wants to thank you. We're really sorry. I think everyone here knows that you are moving to Ottawa and you'll be stepping down from our Cantley 1889 Sculpted Rocks Committee. We're really sad to see that happen. We consider that because of you, the Sculpted Rocks site now has a much more promising future. Much more people are involved in recognizing its great significance. David's done wonders educating the municipality and other key people about the significance of this site, and his dedication, hard work, and creative ideas during many years have made all the difference for Cantley 1889 and for the Sculpted Rock site and for many other environmentally vulnerable sites in Cantley. So we're going to really miss you, David. And we know that all the other groups that you volunteer for will miss you as well. So I certainly hope that you're going to keep in touch with us and maybe be there sometimes for us. But anyhow, I just want you to know that all of us really appreciate everything you've done all these years, and for also the hikes you arranged for us to go on Mount Cascade, Mount Lorne, just everything. So thank you. This picture was taken last May with I never remember the name of the bigger committee, with Dr. Sharp was there, and Jean-Marc Soucy, and our Cantley 1889 committee, and some students and others. It was a really good meeting because we were brainstorming, and there's David with Dr. Sharp and Hubert. And I don't know why, but I just love this because of the expanse and the magnificence of this rock and the sculptures and the markings. It kind of says it all. So David, as a little goodbye present, we're giving you a print of this. And we also think you are well deserved of an honorary life membership in Cantley 1889 for your extraordinary contributions towards Cantley 1889's goals to discover, catalog, protect, and promote Cantley's heritage. And the little description pretty well sums up what I just said. So David, I hope you'll keep with us like Valerie does from from Nova Scotia, and Stephanie's here tonight from Chile. So we don't want to lose track of you. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you very much, Margaret. And I'm not going to be that far away. I'm going to be near Petrie Island, which is a crow's flight away. And I'm just one of many people who have helped to get us where we are with the Sculpted Rocks. So I'm just sort of a guidance or cheerleader role.